Yo, what is up, guys? It's finally time for a good Synchro monster to come out, because man, it's been a while since we got like a really good generic Synchro monster. Plus, we got some new Link cards coming out, but I also want to go over some rarity leaks from some cards that are going to be coming out in circuit breaks, so you guys can kind of prepare for that. But anyways, the first card I want to check out is the new Link monster. This is Duel Chimera. I haven't really checked out the effect. I know it was just announced very shortly. But anyways, so it's a Link to Fire Beast Link effect monster with 1400 attack with the Link zones of bottom left and bottom right. And it requires 2 fire monsters. And it says, all fire monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense. All water monsters on the field lose 400 attack and defense. If this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can target a fire monster graveyard and add it to your hand. You can only use this effect of Doolittle Chimera once per turn. And it says no as in Doolittle, like doing almost nothing. Okay, so the stat boost, it's mediocre. It does require it to be fire monsters. I don't really know how people would really utilize this. This is the first time I'm checking it out. But I'm thinking Fire Kings can maybe utilize some of the cards that, you know, maybe they destroy in their hand, then they get some type of searcher effect. You can add them back to your hand, although it could be slow because it has to be this card being destroyed by battle or by card effect. Now, it does count it being destroyed by your own card effect. So I'm thinking it can just work really well in Fire Kings. But you still have to use 2 monsters to bring out this card in the first place, which I don't really foresee being like viable. I just don't think that this card is really going to be strong. I mean, Fire King's not the most hype deck right now, but you guys can let me know if it has any other utility, maybe in Volcanics or something else. I don't really know, but I just think the card is mediocre. They hyped this card up too. I remember they didn't show off the effect. They showed off that this was a new card coming out. They hyped it up over in the OCG. I think it was on like the Twitter page or something. And then the effect is just do nothing. Like, dude, they got us too excited for nothing. But there is a good card that you guys should be excited for. It's a new Synchro monster, okay? This card is Samurai Destroyer, and it actually is a pretty amazing level 7 Synchro monster. Any deck can make it. It is a machine Synchro level 7, 2600 attack, 1400 defense points. And it requires 1 tuner and 1 plus non-tuner monsters. And it says, if this card battles an opponent's monster, your opponent cards and effects cannot be activated until the end of the damage step. Also, that opponent's monster has its effect negated during the battle phase only. So, I mean, it's getting over pretty much any little effect there. And then, on top of that, if this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 machine monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which I'm guessing could be the same copy of itself. That's a pretty good effect. I mean, it attacks, it's going to be free to get rid of any potential, you know, back row that your opponent would have because they can't use it. And then on top of that, if it goes away, it's coming right back. And when heck, you can target any machine monster in your graveyard. I'm not sure if this was supposed to be like for the super heavyweight samurais, because it doesn't really revolve the defenses. I don't think it's part of a new archetype. It looks pretty cool. It looks like I don't know if you guys watched the anime Big O, but it kind of reminded me of that. But anyways, it's a really good Synchro monster. Any deck can make it, and it's got a really good effect. Like I said, it's been so long since we got like a legit Synchro monster in the game. Now, we did have some rarity leaks for some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I just want to show you guys 2 of the secret rare cards coming out in circuit breaks. Now, the first one, we're still unsure of the name, but it was also known as like Excessive Burial. But yeah, apparently this is going to be a secret rare, so if you guys are interested in this card, it's going to be a little bit harder to get. But anyways, so just to go over its effect really quick. So it's a equip spell that says activate this by discarding 1 monster, then target 1 monster in your graveyard whose original level is less than the discarded monsters, and you special summon it, and if you do, equip this card to it. Negate the effects of the equipped monster. You can only activate 1 Excessive Burial once, one of them per turn. So obviously there's the downside. You can only use 1 of them per turn, and it negates the effect. I hate when they bring back cards, but the card is it's not the same, man. If you're gonna bring back the card, make sure it has the same effect, but maybe make sure like it's the condition is a little bit more difficult. But it doesn't feel the same. It's the same thing when they bring back like Fishborg Archer. Like the cards are different. I don't think that. I know they're trying to give us, you know, that nostalgia feel, but this ain't Premature Burial. That's what it's supposed to kind of look like as far as its artwork goes. But also another card got leaked for its rarity. This was a courtesy of shout out to Italian Yu-Gi-Oh! That's where I got the info from. But this card, I'm not sure if its English name. It was formerly known as Struggling Battle. But this card is absolutely insane. It's going to be a secret rare. It's kind of one of those cards where like randomly you play against it and you just straight up lose. But it's not just hype, guys, okay? Before someone says no one's going to be playing it, guys, there was multiple decks in OCG that did top with this deck, so it could be a side deck card. It's a very, very good card, in fact, in the side deck. When your opponent's side deck's a bunch of traps and spells potentially against your deck, you activate this and you just straight win. It's unfair, okay? Let me read the effect for those guys that don't remember this card. In fact, I even did a video showing how broken this card is if you can utilize this effect. But anyways, it's called Struggling Battle, or its name might be changed. All it really matters is it's secret rare, so you know it's going to be expensive. Anyways, normal trap card says if you control no cards, you can activate this card from your hand. It says if your opponent controls more cards than you, at the end of the battle phase, make your opponent banish cards they control face down until they control the same number of cards you do. So basically, what that usually means is you activate from your hand. If you control no cards, and your opponent loses everything but one card. So you leave your opponent with one card, and then you just, you know, obviously finish them off. However, going into like the future of the game, if you guys haven't seen some of the lists from the OCG, everyone's just maxing out on hand traps. I don't really know that there's a deck that's going to go like summon the Quarry set 5. Like there's very few decks that will invest all their back row. Maybe Weatheries, if that, but for the most part, there's not a deck I think that invests everything turn 1. Even like Magi Bullets, even though that deck, it was supposed to be good and it was looking pretty strong. It did technically do well in the OCG. Like it topped like once or twice here or there. But that's another deck where you don't really need to like commit to the field, you know. And you know, this could just be a bad card against certain decks. But like I said, guys, it's a really great side deck card because a lot of times what happens, let's say you're playing you know, Pendulum Magicians, Anti-Spell Fragrance, also you know, other just back row in general, just that happens against certain decks. This is just an excellent card because, you know, your opponent goes first, they set, you know, 20 back row, and then you just activate this and they can only have one card, period, on the field, that is. So it's pretty good. Like I said, it has seen some play, so it's not just hype. I remember people in the community were saying this card is absolutely broken. It is if you can pull it off, and it just comes down to, there's so many cards like that in Yu-Gi-Oh! Even the Barrel Dragon stuff. Like, it's so good and broken if you can pull it off. But realistically, will it be happening in a real duel? Like I said, it's more so a side deck thing. I think that'd be good in the side deck rather than the main deck. But people have main deck this card, alright? So it's not completely just hype. But I'm really excited that we're getting an actual good Synchro. But anyways, you guys can let me know your thoughts on any of the cards that we talked about below. If you guys have any cool ideas with the Doolittle Chimera, let me know. Because why did you hide the effect and then finally reveal it? And maybe that was the point of it. It's like it does nothing. Get pranked, guys. We hyped it up for no reason. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing some new Yu-Gi-Oh cards and some leaked rarities for some of the cards coming out in SLAYDRA break, so you guys can kind of prepare for that. I'll give you guys like a full spoiler list once we get it, and I'll go over some of the you know, best cards in the set once we get the full list. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button to be updated on more new Yu-Gi-Oh rarities as soon as they get leaked, and also, of course, new Yu-Gi-Oh cards.